Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mixer as we continue our hashtag United challenge in Football Manager 2019. Of course, this episode coming out just before New Year's. We did have episode 11, the start of season 2, out yesterday. Please go and check that one out if you haven't already. But I hope you had a wonderful Christmas period. You got to enjoy the day with your family, your friends, whatever else. And then got to relax a little bit on Boxing Day, depending on where you are in the world. One of the big things that has happened in like the last week and a half is the release of the hashtag United challenge on Football Manager 2019, where you can download this one sort of season challenge pack, and for 1 year in the East Thurlow division you can go and manage the hashtag United team in Football Manager 2019 and see how well you do. You can compare your score, your results and whatever else against other people that have participated in the challenge. Go and check that out. It is in the Steam Workshop. It's available as a free demo. You don't actually have to own Football Manager 2019, and it's a great way to do one season, run through the game, see how much you enjoy it, and see if you want to get the full version. Of course, if you get the full version and want to continue your career with hashtag United, you can use the database in the description below from the FM editor. And if you get in touch with me, I'll happily send you all the face packs that I'm using, all the logos, whatever database amendments I've made to include these players and this group of 20 in that squad. Thanks to people that have already reached out for further assistance and stuff like that. I'm more than happy to help, so just give me a shout and I'll do what I can. But go and check it out. Check out Football Manager and all their sort of content. Check out hashtag United, of course, and all their content. And it's a great way to get involved with the game and do that sort of like one season challenge to see if you want to keep going and try and go as far as winning the Champions League like we are in this very series. Now, we're pretty much following straight on from the last episode, that 2-1 win against Borlum. Let's be honest, it was pretty much a pre-season sort of game. We never really got out of first gear, but a goal from Harry Honesty in first half stoppage time when we'd already had like 20 shots or something like that, and then Ricky Evans with a free kick from distance in the 50th minute. They did pull one back immediately straight after, but I don't think they were really ever going to threaten us again. And we moved straight into our first two games of the season. Walsham Willows and Norwich CBS will open this one. We have also had our next round draw for the FA Cup preliminary rounds. And we'll be playing Worcester. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's like Worcestershire. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm probably butchering it. But they're a decent side. If we have a look at their overview, they have been up as high as the Southern Premier League, Vanarama National Leagues, both North and South. So they must be sitting around the middle of England. And they were actually only relegated in 20th spot out of the National League North last season. Or 2 seasons ago, sorry, and have been involved in the English Midland Football League, which is 2 divisions higher than where we're currently playing. So I think they're going to be a really good test for us as well. You can see they've got mostly players on part-time contracts, a couple of non-contract people there, a couple of familiar names like Connor Pearce and Jake Young, who have been hanging around as 18, 19, 20-year-old players at that level in Conference League clubs and available as free transfers. Sam McKindy is a name I recognise. Tyler Weir I recognise. So they're going to have a bit about them, and it's going to be a really great test for us. We might actually even do that as our next episode as part of our September fixtures, but we'll see how we go. I kind of want to also get in some of the Build Base FAVs competitions and our Eastern Counties League Cup defence, of course. But let's focus on the fixtures in front of us at the moment. Walsham Willows, you can see their logo up here. We're going to get stuck straight into the game here, and we are going to make a couple of different changes to our team selection based on our performance in the previous game against Bolsham. So, Andy Cade Watts in goal, of course, as always, classic gentleman. He's fantastic on Twitter. Go and give him a follow. Wished everybody a Merry Christmas. Retweeted the link to our episode 10 that came out on Christmas Day. Just a proper gent, and I'm thrilled that he's going to be playing with us again this season. Hanfrey, who was signed from Bournemouth in the off-season at left-back, Singano at right full-back. Akeem will come in and play central defence alongside Marcus Stamp, and we're going to push Ricky Evans into midfield alongside Scott Pollock just until Lee Hurst's injury is 100% healed and he gets back up to full fitness. Harry Honesty, our leading scorer from last season, on the left wing. Charlie Morley on the right. We're going to go with Armando Shashua at the 10 for this game. He got a 6.9 in his debut last week. In that game, I didn't think Tash Richmond played as well. And of course, Ryan Adams will continue up top in his new poaching role. Hopefully able to get his first league goals of the season thus far. Harvey White on the bench, Kane Brougham, Tash Richmond, Theo Baker and Daniel Adji round out our substitutes. Looking at the Walsham Willows team, hidden behind my head is Tom Garner in their goal. Dave Middleton will play left back. Ekpyong, I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, will play on the right. He's playing as a little bit more advanced. He must be a wing back. Duncan and Morton, who is their star player as the central defensive partnership. Rees anchor midfield behind Foster and Tozer. Redmond on the left, Hartley on the right, and Ahmed up top. We play a lot of 4-3-3 shapes and formations in this game. We always do relatively well against them. But I don't want to put too much pressure. It is a new season. I don't expect us to go undefeated like we did last year. I'm just going to say if we play our game, we'll win. And then I'm also going to tell the defence assertively, just to set standards. I think there's a lot more to come from you. And at least Jamel Akeem has responded positively, which is great. All right, and kick off, and away we go for Season 2. If we can get even half the success that we had, which is pretty much just winning the league, that we got in Season 1, Season 2 is going to be absolutely fantastic for us, and we continue our progression through the lower league system. All right, so we've gotten outside the first 15 minutes without either side really having a shot or anything on target to speak of. We have had 62% possession, which is good to see that we're maintaining that high level despite going up a division. They've already had to make a sub with Ekpyong going off and Hendon coming on. It'll be interesting to see if that changes the role that they're using at that right fullback spot. All right, we are rocketing towards half time, so I'm just going to use Get Creative, and hopefully in the last 5 minutes that can be something to push us forward a little bit and try and get a goal before half time. Here we go, an immediate highlight. So Cade Watts with a long ball forward. It should be tidied up by the Walsham defence. Comes out to Redmond. Inside to Tozer, who's tackled well by Ricky Evans, making that switch back into midfield. Long ball forward towards Ryan Adams. Can he find the finish? It's cleared away by Morton, but Harry Honesty is on hand to volley that one home, which is a fantastic, fantastic bit of technique if it's worked out the way I thought it did. So we'll see it now in 3 dimensions. Ricky Evans with a great win there. Plays it square to Shashua, who puts a long ball straight down the middle. Ryan Adams runs between the two centre-backs, cleared by Morton, and Harry Honesty, first time on his left foot, passes that one straight into the back of the net, which is pretty impressive, to be entirely honest. Just sticks a leg out at it, and I think we were a bit fortunate that went in. But our first goal of the season in fortuitous circumstance. Charlie Morley now with a free kick, immediate highlight. It's pinballing around in there. Adams falls to Adams, and Izzy still onside. His first goal of the season, an assist by Jamel Akeem, and 2 goals in 2 minutes puts us 2-0 up in our first game of the season. So just let's see this one in slow motion. Back in by Akeem. He's definitely onside there, and it's a dead angle he shoots at his wrong foot and still manages to hit the roof of the net. So first goal in a new role for Ryan Adams. Hopefully he can carry on like that for the rest of the season. And good to see Jamel Akeem in a rare start getting involved in goals as well. We've got another highlight here. I should just get creative all the time. Crossfield switch should be tidied up by Tom Humphrey, sorry. I might call him Billy. I don't know where that's come from. Is there a Billy Humphrey that exists somewhere else out in the world? Morley now on the right-hand side. Back inside to Shashua. He cuts inside. Strikes from distance, and that one is just wide of the far post. The goalkeeper didn't look like he was getting anywhere near it. But fantastic response to the shout. That's exactly what we would have hoped for prior to half-time. 11 shots, 5 on target, 56% possession, which is very, very impressive. All right, and the referee calls half-time there. Let's go into the dressing room here. Everything's going pretty well, so there's no need to say anything too crazy. Just go with the team talk and just say very pleased with your performance. Keep it going. Now, Armando Shashua, our off-season signing from Tottenham, has picked up a knock, so I'm just going to take him off for Taché Richmond. And then we're also going to tell Taché Richmond, just calmly, I have faith in you, get out there and make a difference. He didn't play that well in our FA Cup game in the last episode, but he was probably our player of the season last year. Let's see if we can get him back to some sort of form. And if the goals dry up, we know it's because he's probably not as suited to being a creative 10 at this level, to the level of Shashua. Here we go, corner now for Willems. It's a ball across to Duncan, and it's just wide. I feel like we had both a man on the far post and Andy Cade Watts scrambling. If it had been on target, we should have been able to clear that one off the line. But there are signs of life in him. All right, we're getting towards half-time now, so let's have a look at making a couple more subs. Match ratings are always tough to read in this engine because I feel like Charlie Morley's been involved in quite a few of the highlights that we've had, but we're going to give him a rest for Theo Baker. And just to try and keep his match fitness up, we're also going to give some time to Kane Broham on the right full-back spot. Interestingly, of our starting 11, Singano was the only one that missed out on being in the team of the season, and Brogham was in there ahead of him, so it'll be super interesting to see if that sort of form continues this year. We have now made all 3 subs, which I know is risky with 30 minutes remaining, but I've got faith in the team. No one's on a yellow card yet. We'll just tell them we have faith in them. Baker's responded really positively to that. And now Ryan Adams immediately picks up a knock, and our subs have just gone through. So, Ryan, sorry mate, you're going to have to run that one off. We might also use a shout and just demand more, and then we might do get creative again in the last 10 minutes. And everyone seems pretty focused. Marcus Stamp isn't that interested. I'm also going to, and I do this rarely, switch to our cautious mentality. Wait for Walsham to start pressing up, looking for goals themselves, and then we'll try and exploit the spaces in behind them. Looking around the leagues, and it's always tough because it's the first game of the season, you never really can tell. Looks like Horsham are the only other team winning their game at the moment with a +2 goal difference, 3-1 up against Clacton. They also missed a penalty, so they might be a decent side in this particular division. Everyone else at the moment is currently drawing or winning by a 1-goal margin. Brantham, Haverhill and Thetford Town, who we of course played in the in the League Cup last year, are winning their game as well. Alright, I've got a highlight here. It's going to be Brougham to take throw in on the right hand side. Plays inside to Theo Baker, who plays to Scott Pollock at the base of midfield. Tashan Richmond now goes back to Akeem. We have got a 2v1 over on the left hand side if we can find it. Instead, Ricky Evans is going to go to Tashan Richmond at the 10. Back to Evans. Nice little triangles at work in here, not forcing anything. Just as I say that, Evans puts a ball in behind. Ball hits the deck for Theo Baker, and he gets his first goal. No, it's going to be disallowed. Wasn't bad play from him. He did well to get the cross in at all, and I think Adams' shot was initially charged down. He was first to the rebound, but from an offside position. So at least we're getting in good spots. At least we're still seeing highlights, even if it is disallowed goals. All right, we're into the last 10 minutes now, so we might use our last shout. They've now used all 3 of their subs. I'm going to say get creative and see if we can push and get that 3rd goal. Move ourselves up to top of the table, which would be awesome. Looking at match ratings, okay, some players haven't responded that well, but Tom Hamphrey, Theo Baker and Harry Honesty are all inspired by that feedback. Jamel Akeem currently leading our match ratings with a 7.5, his first start for the season, and he was really a bit part player last year, so credit to him. Ricky Evans, of course, continuing his momentous form so far in the season. Here we go, I've got a highlight, so we'll just put that on hold for a minute. Tashan Richmond with a great touch around. Can he get the cross in towards Adams? It's headed away. Hartley should clear now. They've got 3 men forward. Oh, 3v1. What have we done there? We've dropped the ball with our cautious mentality, and thankfully Ahmed screws his shot wide. That was super, super dangerous. We might actually have to go and set up our throw-in and corner routines and get the perfect people taking our throw-ins, taking our corners, and make sure they've got men back, because they had 3 forward then, and we're supposed to be on cautious, which is ridiculous. What was I saying? Tom Hamphrey's also playing well, 7.1. Ricky Evans was man of the match in the last game and might actually win it now again in this one with a 7.7. Harry Honesty, 7.4 with his goal, and Ryan Adams, 7.2, getting amongst the goals as well. And injury time has just rocketed by. I dare say the referee's going to call it as soon as this throw-in's taken. Theo Baker now with the ball, plays inside to Kane Brougham, to Scott Pollock, who can switch out to the left-hand side. He does now through Harry Honesty. Long ball forward, and the referee calls full time. A good 2-0 win in our first game of the season. A good away performance. Nothing to really complain about. Puts us to 2nd in the table. Still only early in the season. You wouldn't expect to be top this early. Other teams will win their opening games as well. Very pleased with the result and your performance. Nothing to complain about there. Everyone's responded positively, giving them a boost to their morale. Alright, so a good win to start the season. You can see here Thetford Town, Eli, Brantham, God Manchester and Horsham YMCA all got victories on their opening day of the season as well. Horsham, a 5-2 win against Clacton, despite playing away from home, puts them top of the table with a +3 goal difference. They might be a rival that we have to keep an eye on this season. And we hammered them in the end, 15 shots to 6, 59% possession to 41, 2 goals to the good, and Ricky Evans, back-to-back man of the match performances for him, which is absolutely fantastic. Looks like Armando Shashura will be out for about 6 to 9 days with a bruised thigh. Ryan Adams, only 1 to 2 days, so he should be alright for the next game. Of course, magic of editing, we're going to jump ahead to the game against Norwich CBS now. Alright, and just like that, we are a week ahead. Nothing particularly massive happened. I tried to bring in Akinfenwa on trial. He said no, we're going to keep trying him pretty much every month. Essentially only one change to our lineup for this match. Tashan Richmond will come in at the 10, and he'll actually captain the side, interestingly. I think he's replaced Andy Cade Watts. I think Andy Cade Watts, because he's on a non-contract, can't be our captain. Whereas Tashan Richmond's still on a part-time deal, so he can be. So I think that's why that move's happened, but I don't remember selecting Tashan Richmond thus far. But interesting to see how that plays out. It will be Andy Cade Watts again, I can assure you of that. So with Shashua's injury, he drops off the squad entirely, and Lee Hurst will come back onto the bench, and we'll try and bring him on for 45 minutes or so, get some run back in his legs and get our team settled again. Looking at the Norwich side, it is Teasdale in goal, Cleaver Cotton at left back, Vincent, who is their star performer thus far, at right full back, Johnson and Madden as their central defensive partnership, Kavanagh and Robson on the wings, Moulton and Hopewell in the centre of midfield, Udgreen up top, and Richards as their advance forward. They drew their first game of the season, so I'd expect us to do well. It's our first game at home. It'd be great to set down a bit of a marker. I'm going to switch back to calm, actually. Calm and say, go out there and KO straight on from where you finished the last match. No one's responded that positively. I'm just going to talk to the defence and say, I think there's a lot more to come from you guys. Jamal Akeem, back-to-back positive responses for him, really staking his claim for a first-team spot. And to be honest, the way Ricky Evans is playing in midfield, our star performer thus far in the opening 2 games, maybe we should look at continuing him there and kind of rotating Hersett and Pollock a little bit more. So immediate highlight here, ball's won back by Farai Singano, out to Charlie Morley, plays it forward to Tashan Richmond. Long ball over the top looking for Ryan Adams, who's done very well. He's 1 out against 4 guys. He gets his strike away regardless, and that one is just over. So early few minutes, and we've already created a chance, albeit a very isolated one, but still good to see. All right, ball in now from Harry Honesty on the left-hand side. Charlie Morley arrives back stick for his first goal of the season. And we still haven't done anything in terms of our attacking or defensive structures for corners, free kicks, throw-ins, whatever else. And we just keep scoring from them. Great ball from Honesty. Charlie Morley arrives and has time to volley that one in inside the 6-yard box. You'd be furious with your defence if you were an Norwich goalkeeper or coach. And sees us go to a +3 goal difference around the grounds. Horsham still currently in top. They have taken a 1-goal lead against Great Yarmouth. So they are looking like a decent side already within the division. Goal kick, I think it's a free kick forward from Teesdale in the Norwich goal. Singano now plays a long ball forward. It's in the general direction of Ryan Adams, but it's tidied up well by the Norwich defence. Marcus Stamp wins the header unchallenged. Ricky Evans now to Tashan Richmond, who comes forward with the ball. Out to Hanfrey at left back. Into Richmond again. Hanfrey again. Can he get a deep cross in? He does. Looks back stick. Ryan Adams gets a header on it, but it's just over the crossbar. So good signs early doors. This is a great opening 10 minutes. Highlight again. Pollock with the ball now, plays inside to Tashan Richmond at the 10. Bursts forward and strikes from the top of the 18-yard box. Forces a good save out of Teesdale, but then Charlie Morley is offside following up the rebound. Alright, highlight now for Norwich. It's a free kick from distance. Great save from Andy Cadwatts. The captain standing out. He might not be wearing the armband, but I'm still going to refer to him as the captain until we get him on a part-time contract again. Alright, and the referee takes us through to half-time there. 14 shots, 6 on target, 59% possession. Just going to say I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. I don't think we've really seen anything from Norwich to suggest that they're going to get back into the game. We do have subs up our sleeve. We do have shouts up our sleeve. We can make tactical adjustments if we need to in the second half. Alright, highlight here. Singano to take. Into Charlie Morley. Deep ball across. It's headed away by Vincent. Ricky Evans will tidy up. Out to Singano on the right full back position. Comes inside to Tashan Richmond. Back to Singano. Deep ball across towards Harry Honesty. His third goal of the season, second goal of the game for us. Phenomenal work there. Let's check out the replay in 3 dimensions and then we might have a look at making some subs. So ball into Tashan Richmond. Singano just hangs the ball up back stick. And Harry Honesty, right place, right time, on his favoured left foot. He loves a volley. Does Triple H. Alright, we're just going to make 2 quick subs. Lee Hurst will come on, work his way back into the team after his injury. Ricky Evans will come off. Ryan Adams will also come off. He struggled today. Daniel Adji will come in up top. We'll hold on to the last sub and look to make it late on. We'll either bring on Theo Baker or Kane Brougham with a little bit of time left. We'll also use a shout and demand more. If we're looking around the grounds, Horsham still have a 1-0 lead, but we do draw level with them in terms of goal difference on +4 and 6 points. God Manchester, the only other side at present that has won both their opening games, both by 1-goal margins. It looks like Stowmarket's playing pretty well in their game. Morley to take a corner now. It's towards back stick. It's going to come out the back and Scott Pollock will tidy up. Goes to Marcus Stamp now, who returns the ball to Hersett. We've got a man open in Scott Pollock on the right-hand side. Instead he plays it back to Stamp. Just need him to try and get around his man here. He's reluctant to and comes back to Hersett inside. Played to Tashan Richmond. Holds off 2 men and strikes from the top of the 18-yard box. Forces a good save out of Teesdale in the Norwich goal. Charlie Morley will take the free kick here. The corner here. It's a deep one. No one's really in the area though. Poor corner and Teesdale claims with these. Yeah, Stowmarket having a really good performance. 3 goals up in the opening half an hour in their game. We know last season they had Titus Bramble on their books, who's now a coach there. They've got some good players in their ranks. And that I think they'll probably challenge a little bit more than we saw in the opening game of the season, only getting a draw in that match. Histon as well. I recognise Histon from being around the conference setup for quite a bit, probably in like the North or South Division. But yeah, definitely when you see names that you recognise as clubs, you kind of keep an eye out for how they're doing. We've got a highlight here again. Akeem to take the throw in. I think that's what's hurting us on these counter-attacks. Akeem's taking throw-ins, playing at centre-back, and it's leaving Marcus Stamp on his own out there. Great crossfield switch to Singano, cuts it back to Morley, puts that one away for his second goal of the season. Charlie Morley was struggling in the first 2 games this season in terms of match ratings. He was sitting at about a 6.7 or something like that. But fantastic performance today, getting a double, and he's on course for a hat-trick if he can add another. That crossfield switch from Scotty P is absolutely phenomenal. And Singano, presence of mind to cut it back. Morley probably didn't expect that one to fly into the top corner on the far side, but it is a great strike. And we go 3 goals up, which will push us to top of the league in only the second game of the season. Don't get ahead of yourselves. We will lose games at some point. 21 shots, 11 on target, 58% possession, as emphatic a home performance as we really could have hoped for. Give it a couple more minutes and then we might look at making our last change. Actually, you know what? We'll make it now. By the time the game processes it and gets them out there on the pitch, it'll already be in the last 10 minutes. So let's go with Theo Baker to come on for Harry Honesty just on the left-hand side. Let's confirm that sub, and then let's also, once the sub has come in, tell everybody to get creative for the last 10 minutes. Let's see if we can add to our goal difference here. Move it from +5 up to +6 or 7 or whatever else. Get creative, boys. Go out there. Enjoy the last 10 minutes or so. It's been a very good performance. Horsham have gotten another goal in their game, which sees them go just above us on goals scored. There's 3 minutes to be added on. We're pretty much at the end of that now, unless we can add another goal here in this highlight. Hurst it with the ball out towards Baker, but the referee calls full time. So we remain in second spot, but we are undefeated, and we're yet to concede a goal, which is absolutely fantastic. No need to overcomplicate anything here. Good win, boys. Well done. 3-0 victory at home, making the transition into the Premier Division as seamlessly as we possibly could. Quite a few players had great games out there. Singano had a great game. Charlie Morley, man of the match with his 2 goals and a 9.3 rating. Alright, so you can see here, #United, Hammer, Norwich, CBS. We've beaten both Norwich sides if you count us beating Norwich last season in the League Cup. 21 shots to their 3, 55% to 45% possession. Pretty dominant performance for a home game. Charlie Morley getting man of the match award. He was absolutely fantastic, so we should go and praise his performance and his goals in that particular game. Superb in front of goal, and he's responded really well to that as well. Still one of the hottest prospects that we have available despite turning 22. I think we are getting to the point now where if some of these players don't start making the most of their potential, they're not really going to get to a level above or beyond this particular division. The likes of Lee Hurst, Charlie Morley, probably Marcus Stamp by the end of this season. If they're not already 5-star players, I don't know if they're going to get there in time. But we got heaps of time. We've got seasons, and like I said, this group, this initial 20, has jobs for life. The guys that retired, we retained as staff. So these guys should be here throughout the entirety of the season, at the very least. As always, though, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed episode 12. Looking at our schedule here, I think I'll play the Worcester game off screen just to get those cup competitions going. We have more fixtures now with the FA Cup. Hopefully a better performance in the FAVs, and defending our League Cup title that we probably don't need to show every single cup competition that we're involved in. There's a ton of games that will be in each episode in each season. So we're going to do 2 games in September, and what I think we might do is come back and play our revenge match in the FAVs, second qualifying round, where we got knocked out in that competition last year. And we might do the game against God Manchester, because I think they're currently 3rd in the division. They've also won their opening 2 games of the season. That might be a massive game for the course of the season, how it's going to play out. So we'll play Worcester off screen, we'll play Brantham off screen, and then we'll come back in episode 13. Unlucky for some, but probably lucky for us, given that I'm born on the 13th, and get those 2 games sorted. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. Thank you to everyone that has either subscribed to the channel, followed me on Twitter, or continues to leave feedback in the comment section below. I do love and appreciate it, and I will respond to everyone that comments below. Even if it's negative stuff, if you have things that you want to see in this series, if you see things that you want me to do a little bit different, players you want me to sign, stuff like that, chuck it down there. Put up comparisons to how you're doing in the #United Challenge in FM19, and we can compare our saves and series and see how your squad is getting on. As always though, I've been Sean. I'll see you guys in the mixer, and don't forget to hashtag it.